How are you doing? How are we doing? Ah, this is well. Yeah, I've been thinking of having movie reviews and all that, and I've been trying to strategize on how to go about it, how to edit reviewing while I'm showing the scene I am reviewing. But I don't think I've gotten that. But I'm going to start anyways, and maybe I'll just make use of what I have, make do with what I have, till I'm able to improve on my tech skills. That will make me to be showing the scenes, editing, paparazzi, and all that. So I might be starting. I wanted to even start with about her, but I watched Unexpected Places and Last Straw for the 10th time. I watched was it Unexpected Places again yesterday, and I think the reviewing is Zemi Gish Gish, and I want to share something from it in general for now. I might start proper later, but I just want to pick out something. If you don't stand up for those you love, and I'm relating it to one of my experiences, if you don't stand up for what you love in hierarchy, like by the time you state the hierarchy of those you love by priority, and you don't, and the person that you think is on the hierarchy for you or the top for you, you don't stand for them, and you allow people that you feel you respect either by manipulation or those that you respect by religion, brainwashing, by religious brainwash and all that. If you allow them to keep all in the name of touch not my anointed, it could be your boss at work, it could be your, I'm going to give an example. So whoever you have allowed, I think that's a word, whoever you allow to make you to hate your loved one according to your priority by purpose, priority by official, priority by, you get your loved one, priority by your own standards, by official, by marriage, by legality, by all kind of measures that we can use to measure priority for your loved one. If you allow people, someone to make you to undermine the person gradually to the extent of you hating the person, by the time the loved one passes on, by the time the loved one loses, by the time the person is tired of being vulnerable, being strong, standing there, and they lose out and they tend to waking out and they go, those people that used you to hate the person because of what they wanted from you will also do the same thing for you. At the end of the day, at the time they are reflecting when you are gone, either in flesh or in by sight or whatever, by distance or whatever, it is still the same set of people that will be asking God for forgiveness. And behind the scenes, they'll be saying that after all, we did not force him. After all, we did not force her. After all, he was the one that weakened out and chickened and decided to obey us. But God will forgive them. And they will prevent such from happening to them. Especially such people that don't even have worse experience, that their own experiences with their loved one is even worse than yours, that they are advising to do away with your loved one. I will give an example. In Unexpected Places, Bimbo Ademoye played the role of, I'm trying to remember their cast names, but I'm not sure I remember. I don't want to waste time. Bimbo Ademoye, Shafi Bello was the mother, Timini was the husband, the good-hearted house Ghana husband, who was not poor, who was also making his means by his own means. And she kept pushing the difficult discussion she was supposed to have with her mother. She kept denying, she kept waiving the discussion with her husband. She kept diverting, yes, that's the word. She kept diverting the discussion when her husband was trying to put forth his concerns about the mother. She kept justifying, and it's also sad to know that Timini was in that film, was an orphan, I think. according to what, when he busted out, when he had to speak for, when he had to stand and speak for himself at some point. It's quite amazing, and he kept feeling like he was this second person in this marriage, and infidel in the marriage, and afterthought in the marriage. In fact, the way he even spoke out, he even did it well. He did it like training Dick for his back. And on the long run, when Timini was about to speak for himself, it was at the peak where the marriage was already sinking. When she had an accident because she had an issue with her husband. The misunderstanding that morning so much affected her that she had an accident. That means even though they were having issues, if you don't deal with the foundational issues, you're not dealing with the fact that her mother was bashing the husband. They didn't deal with that. By the time everything piled up, and it happened to be that their marriage, what even happened that, okay, it was, what happened, I'm trying to remember what happened that made her have an accident. The issue that happened prior to when she had an accident that morning, that he had to, okay, it was when he stood up for himself, that he left. Or what really happened? You shall know what happened when that caused the accident, that she had to go to work that day, and on her way to work, she had an accident. Yeah, I remember. It was when he lost a deal because his wife did not remember to table it before her mother's complaints, legal, whatever. That he now lost what he could have gained, at least to gain the mother's respect and all the app they were trying to develop and all that. And it happened that was the last straw for this guy, that okay, I wanted to even do more than what I'm doing that brings money for me, and you promised, and you said that I don't even need to remind you, blah blah blah. And he fucked up. That was the last straw for him to just it just kept mute. And just that day, that there was no paparazzi, money, kisses and all that, and exchange of appreciation and encouragement in the morning, that made her have an accident. And it dived into how Timini stood up for himself. It had compounded. Not being able to have sex with your wife for over months and all and all. And it was not at the point where Bimbo needed him, as my mother said that the name, but the cast name I've forgotten and I cannot start. So, and at the end of the day, it was now the mother that was now interpreting it, that why is it now that you have an accident with your leg, that you cannot work for the money both of you are spending, that is now leaving. See how they are interpreting it again. At the end of the day, thank God Bimbo was able to get her marriage back. That was then that she now had to stand up to her mother herself. If you wait, some people don't even have the privilege to have their relationships restored again. Some don't. Some didn't even get that kind of privilege again before they die. Till they die. Some don't get restoration till they die, either before their real deaths or deaths. So it is always expedient that you have difficult discussions. And the storyline, Shafi Bello as her mother, as the role played, told Bimbo before they now told themselves the real truth, also added to the issue. There's some discussions that are supposed to be had. Either they are going to be, don't lie to the person not because you want to make the person hate the other party involved in the storyline or trauma storyline. Tell the person as it is. If you want to share it gradually, share the storyline gradually. But the gradual you are sharing, let it be the truth. Because you still end up bearing the grunt by the time you are now forced to tell the person the truth. I hope this makes sense. I'm going to be sharing my storyline in that line in the next video. This is too long. Thank you.